A to Z Interactive, the developers behind Survive the Nights, have just added a massive new feature to the game, which completely overhauls it and makes gameplay much more interesting. In this 1.42 update, they've added roaming hordes. Now these hordes are absolutely insane. As you can see from some of the screenshots, there's well over 200 zombies in some of these hordes. They'll vary in sizes as you progress through, sometimes being just 10, 20 or 30, other times being more than 200 zombies coming at you at any one time. This is more than you'd have on any one horde night and makes the game much more difficult. If you are ready for that challenge, it's going to be a tough one, but I'd imagine it'd be a hell of a lot of fun to try and get through. Alongside that, in the 1.42 update, they've added loads and loads of other stuff, such as mod improvement, improved placement for locks, various breaker and death improvements. Loads and loads of stuff has been changed, fixed and improved for this version. The patch notes are pretty damn big, with tons of new content being added, loads of improvements and a whole host of fixes, as well as bug and crash fixes. So that's great. The team at A to Z are finally pushing through and getting as much stuff available as they can, adding loads of new features over the past few updates, and of course mod support with this update and loads of bug fixes, community requests, ready for a 2.0 launch. We don't know when that's going to be. It was teased, 2-3 months ago now, where they're going to be adding a whole host of stuff before that goes out, and then they'll probably wind down a little bit, whether they're moving on to a different project. Not 100% sure what is actually happening. There's just been little bits of information here and there. Hopefully though, the devs continue to work on it. Survive the Nights, if you haven't checked it out, is a great game. It's currently £16.75 on the Steam store, and it's actually sitting at mixed reviews recently, which is bad. Now, this update may address some of those issues, and it's also sitting at 68% of the 1,782 reviews being positive. So, it seems like the reviews have dropped down a little bit over the past few months. It was relatively, I think it was positive, it wasn't mostly positive, but last time we played the game, I think was, June? And it was positive back then. So maybe a whole host of new people have come in, maybe a high-profile creator has showed it off. Some people have come in and not enjoyed it. Not 100% sure. But I enjoyed the game. I think it's great. If you're a fan of 7 Days to Die, this is probably something that you'd enjoy too. The building aspect is not as detailed as 7 Days, but it's pretty cool. There's loads of good stuff you can do with it. Now, with this 1.42 update, as mentioned, the roaming hordes are the biggest feature. They've been making tons of new improvements, obviously the main one being the hordes. As well as that, they've started on modding groundwork. Update 1.42 marks a major step towards the future of Survive the Nights by laying groundworks for modding. This is the first release of the game built on Unity's addressable asset system. Previous versions relied on Unity's older asset bundle system to manage and stream content. While functional, asset bundles came with limitations such as manual dependency management, inefficient memory usage, performance issues, and lots of technical stuff. But they are trying to get modding available as soon as they can, which is great news. Now, 4 features that are coming to the game and in this update themselves. The metal gate is a new one. We've already have the big wooden gates, but their durability is not the greatest. With this, the 1.42 update, they've added metal gates which can be crafted with simple resources and provide a better look with a stronger entrance and exit option. As well as that, the zombie rendering has been improved. There's been many render issues, which has been a slight issue in Survive the Nights for quite a while, but it seems like they're working on that and making it a lot better. The zombie render distance now scales up as long as fewer than 45 zombies are active, improving visibility in open areas. Forward overlap sphere loads AI further in the direction of player movement. So it's basically like a cone, and what you can see in that cone, a lot of stuff is going to load into there. Like the old GTA rain trick, where it actually rains in a circle around the player, but if you move the camera away from the player, there's no rain, which quite cool. I can't remember which GTA it was. But yeah, they dealt with that because it helped on memory usage and made the game run better, just through simple effects. So hopefully this doesn't give any performance issues. We will have to wait and see. As well as that, they've improved lock placement, making it better, and the UI of the lock will now open automatically after placing the lock. So that's better. You place your lock and then it'll open straight away. Then you can mess around with it rather than it just locking on you, which was a little bit annoying. As well as that, there's been improvements to breaker panels and death marker improvements, just to make things a little bit easier for when you do eventually get your ass handed to you by these new hordes that are coming into the game. As well as that, you'll also be able to water your crops with your canteen, which is quite good. That's a lot easier than having to fill them up with a watering can. So 1.42, you can water your crops directly from your canteen with dirty water as well. You won't need to purify water. So if you do have a lot of water and you are going for that hardcore survival stuff, you want to get fruits, veg, and all that good stuff in your stew, then, well, yeah, you're definitely going to need to be crafting a hell of a lot of veg, especially if you've got loot turned off. So it doesn't respawn. You can only go through so many areas, which is quite a good way to play it. It does make it a much more hardcore experience, but it depends on your playstyle. I do love the farming in game and the food sort of drinking, how you have to cook all your stuff. It's good. It is a good game. I know the reviews are not the greatest at the moment. I think the one thing that does let Survive the Nights down is most definitely performance. The performance is better than what it used to be, but it's still not perfect. It can be a little bit buggy every now and then, but it seems like they've fixed a lot of those bugs with this update, which is great news. So as you can see, they've fixed a whole bunch of critical fixes, gameplay and combat, world environment, locks and interactions, and item and weapon fixes. As well as that, there's been tons of improvements which will make these things a lot better. So overall, a pretty good update. Survive the Nights released in 2017. Back when it released then, the reviews were mostly negative. There was a whole shitstorm when the game first came out, but the team have learnt from a lot of that stuff. There's a few new members in there, and they continue to work on and update this game every couple of months. They're dedicated. I love the A to Z guys. They're all great folks. I've met them a couple of times, and awesome dudes. I'd recommend checking the game out. Like I say, if you are a fan of games like 7 Days to Die, then this one's just a little bit more gritty. Yes, it's not got as much polish as games like 7 Days to Die, but it's still an enjoyable experience. Yes, the price at the moment, nearly 17 quid. There might be a Steam sale on soon, not 100% sure when they'll do the next one, but if they do pop it on a sale, I'd recommend getting it. Even at this price, I've definitely got the hours worth out of it. I've got a hell of a lot of playtime on this. I can't even remember how long I've got. And currently, I've got 350 hours in game, which, yeah, enjoyed all of those 350 hours. Back in the day when we first started the channel, we had a really big community and we'd all jump on and play together. It'd be nice to get something like that up and running again. So if you do want to see more from Survive the Nights and more survival titles, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more survival content. For now though, I've been Wired, you guys have been awesome, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.